Hi, Dr. Rudy Kachmann. Welcome to our diabetes prevention show, reversal show, stopping show. What I'm saying is I'm trying to get the message to the community that a lot of diabetes is preventable, stoppable, and reversible. 90% can be reversed 6 weeks. Accept it. I can show you book after book, and it's a bit upsetting to me that we're not making it the mainstay of prevention, because 50 diseases or so are attached to diabetes. Diabetes is not the 7th leading cause of death. It's number 1, because these other illnesses are caused by diabetes. You know, we have type 1, type 2. Type 1, where you have no insulin. It used to be that type 1s were the kids who had a virus or bacteria attacked the pancreas. Then after research, I find that cow's milk can do it too. Yeah, I've read that. I've read that. But actually now the biggest number of type 1 diabetics are the ones that were type 2, where you have too much insulin, okay? Your individual cell has receptors on them, and they're covered with triglycerides, fats, and insulin cannot get the sugar into the cell to make energy, so the pancreas secretes more and more, and the insulin level is going up and up and up and up, and we kept on getting blood sugar levels, and we find the blood sugar is normal, it's normal, it's normal. Then slowly it rises, and we say you get pre-diabetes, and then it's up high, and we say you get diabetes. But the serum insulin started rising 15 years ago, and we don't test for it. How silly, how idiotic. We should be running serum insulins. This is well described in a book by Joseph Kraft, Kraft. $15. You can go to the library, get it for nothing. The 1975 he published this book. What's interesting about it, also, what he did, he studied 14,000 people, autopsied. He did the pathology. He was a pathologist and a nuclear physicist on 3,000 people. He looked at the real effects, the pathology of it, and he determined that serum insulin, the elevated serum insulin, is the first thing that occurs and is the cause of 98% of vascular disease, heart attacks and strokes and renal disease and impotency, etc., all due to inflammation of the endothelium, the inner layer of our blood vessels, by serum insulin and sugar, the hooker and the booger. Okay, yeah, that's, so look at his YouTube show. He's 92 years old when he's speaking. He since died a couple of years ago, but that is the key. To me, his book, Joseph Kraft's book, as a matter of fact, the name of it is Insulin, Diabetes Prevention and Proper Testing, unless you just don't care. If you don't care, don't get the test, okay? And so when I recommend testing for diabetes and screening, I recommend serum insulins and blood sugars. The glucose tolerance test, blood sugar, fasting, 1 hour, 2 hour, serum insulin, fasting, 1 hour, 2 hour. Probably less than $100 unless you use the hospital. They may charge thousands. But you go to LabCorp and you can bargain with them, it's going to cost a lot less. Then you will really know if you are on the path to diabetes or have diabetes already. Lose 5-8% of your body weight, it's gone, 6 weeks. Matter of fact, your blood sugars will correct in a week. Mark Hyman, read Mark Hyman's book, Eat Fat and Be Thin. And I think that's sort of, I'm going to emphasize a little bit keto, K-E-T-O metabolism. So when Mark Hyman says, eat fat and be thin, that's really what I'm going to say to you today. And I didn't say to eat nothing but steaks and meat and things like that, fatty food. No, it's to eat fats from nature. And this is well summarized in a book called The Keto Diet by Dr. Josh Axe here. I'll hold it up for you. Because what he did, what he really did is made eating the right fats and in the proper amounts to be a healthy thing. I think it's an excellent. I'll refer to another book too, and so let's get it straight. We're not talking about full straight out eat all the fat you want and blah, blah. No, that's not what we're speaking about. We are speaking about eating the right kind of fats in a reasonable manner, along with fats with nutrients in them and vitamins and minerals in them, as well as vegetables and fruit, essentially like the Furman method, except this has a little more emphasis on fat because remember, sugar is the booger and the hooker, okay? And for you to get into keto metabolism, you got to go low sugar. You got to go low sugar. We Americans eating about 300 grams of sugar a day. We're eating 200 pounds a year. We're eating 150 pounds of weight. In a lifetime, we eat 12 cows in a lifetime, 25 pigs in a lifetime. We're eating the wrong stuff here. But to take advantage of keto a bit, let me tell you something about a little bit. You need energy to make the cells go, okay? We all need some ATP, adenosine triphosphate. We can only store about 2,000 calories. Only about 500 grams of carbohydrate, 400 in the muscles, 100 in the liver, times 4 is 2,000. If you're running a marathon, you'll be out of glycogen at the 20-mile mark, and then you'll balk, okay? So we have a limited amount. But what a lot of people don't realize, and I didn't until a few years ago, is that we have in our body, even if you're thin, probably 40,000 calories of fat, even if you're thin. It's in between the muscles. So when you use a triathlon runner, for example, we can train him to get into keto metabolism. Takes a week or two. Eating a certain way. They have tremendous energy, okay? But that's not what we're talking about today. We're not worried about triathletes. We're worried about us every day. So to eat some guacamole or olives or nuts with some fat in them, and if we fast overnight, fasting is keto metabolism, yeah. When we're fasting, we're not eating sugar, okay? And so how do we survive while you're fasting? The body figures out how to get energy out of your fat. That's like the woodchuck. Yes, it's true. 9 years he's been living under my house. I'll notice towards the fall, he's getting bigger, bigger and bigger. I saw him yesterday. Guess what? Hibernation. He's been living on fat. Yeah. He's been living on his fat. The way he's able to do it and survive, his basic metabolic rate, that's the energy used up by your heart, lungs, brain, muscles, doing nothing. And when he's hibernating, he is doing nothing. His basic metabolic rate really drops, so he's using very few calories. Okay, so when we're fasting, we're going into keto. We're going into keto. We're metabolizing fat. Matter of fact, if you don't eat, say, after 7 o'clock and don't eat again until 7 in the morning, you've been doing a bit of keto at that time, and actually losing some weight. So keto metabolism is a form of fasting. So let's be open-minded a little bit, okay? And we do have in this country, we have sugar addiction. Oh, yeah. 1 out of 2 people, if they were tested properly, is higher than that, a pre-diabetic or diabetic. I like pre-diabetes and diabetes, it's the same thing. Dr. Kraft will say it's the same thing. Because in pre-diabetes, people get dementia and strokes and heart attacks. It's the same. They are the same. And if properly tested, the way Dr. Kraft speaks, actually for 10, 15 years on these shows here, I've been saying start testing at age 2. It's on that one-page handout I hand people all the time. Yeah. You know what Dr. Kraft said? I like confirmation. I like somebody else's ideas. I like a confirmation. He says start testing at age 3. Okay. I'm not going to argue about that. And then put it on a computer chip. Like in France, they have a card Vitale, a credit card. You can go to any doctor's office anywhere in the nation, and every Frenchman put the card in, and the lifetime of health is on that computer chip. We need that in this country. We need it badly. No wonder the World Health Organization voted France as the best medical system in the world. It's a system. We can't even communicate to another hospital or to a lot of offices. So I think should all be on the same computer chip. So if we catch you on the path to diabetes and there's 50 illnesses associated with it, we could prevent it, stop it, reverse it, and nothing, flat. It's our fault for not doing that, but I've been speaking about it for a long time. Remember I said the first thing that raises up is the insulin level if you're eating a lot of sugar. What does insulin do? Insulin pushes sugar into the cell for energy. We spoke about that. But it also opens the door to let fat in. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the fat cells get bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's how we gain weight. But if the insulin level goes down, the door opens up, and we let fat out. That's why you're losing weight the keto way. Insulin levels down because you're eating fat, okay? So what I'm talking about is we want to get at the root cause, the root. We want to know what's doing this before we get all those diseases up there of dementia and weight loss and cataracts. A lot of dementia is related to type 2 diabetes, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 50-70% of dementia is related to type 2 diabetes, absolutely. It isn't some rare genetic disease called Alzheimer's. It's our lifestyle that's doing it. Increased rates of cancer, for example. Cancer is a sugar feeder. Otto Warburg in 1934 proved that it takes 13 molecules of sugar to make 1 ATP through fermentation. And the theory went in disrepute because the genetic theory disease in 1954, but we changed our mind since then. It's sugar is the cause of a lot of cancer. What we're trying to do in this keto is shift you from sugar to fat metabolism. That's what we're trying to do, okay? Avoiding sugar, the booger and the hooker. Okay. So what are the health implications? Reduce inflammation. And we're balancing our hormones, the insulin, a lot better. Remember, insulin opens the door to fat. Insulin causes stiffening of the arteries. Insulin causes dementia, increased rates of cancer, increased rates of inflammation, and reduces your immunity. So to have elevated insulin levels is not good for your health. And the best way to avoid that, avoid sugar, eat fat instead. Good fat, okay? Good fat. So what I'm promoting is a fundamental change in how you're burning your calories. That's keto metabolism, okay? So be open-minded about it, okay? So actually, it's ancient nutrition. That's the way we did it years ago. And we fasted years ago. We couldn't always eat. So we got an animal or something that was in season, we ate a lot, and we gained weight. And then we might not eat again for 30 days. Usually we can not eat for 30 days, get away with it, and live off our own fat. That's how the ancients did it. That's in our genetic structure. It's like animals in hibernation. Remember, I told you about Woody, my friend, okay? We named him that. A waitress named him that when I was saving half of a salad in a restaurant. And she said, who's it for? You going to eat it? I said, no, it's for Woody living under my house. House is still standing, okay? And actually, ketogenic diets were discovered at Johns Hopkins University in the 1920s and the Mayo Clinic. And they used it to treat seizures. They were able to stop kids who were having seizures all the time, and they put them on this ketogenic diet, and probably because it resulted in some sugar control, they stopped having seizures, okay? And they used it actually to treat diabetics. They didn't have insulin before 1922. And so how do they treat these kids? With the ketogenic diet, high fat. The trouble is, once they discovered insulin, they took the high-fat diet away and started eating sugar again, and that was a mistake. It was done at Harvard University for 20 years. It was a mistake. We should have kept them on the ketogenic diet and insulin, and they would have required very little insulin, because insulin has other effects. Okay? So you need to figure out what's a good proportion of fat and sugar and protein. Protein around 20% or so, because we need some protein to repair our tissues and build our bones and muscles. So we need some protein, okay? So we're speaking here about the big fat truth, okay? In a judgment-free zone, okay? So there's a lot of overweight people in the world. They're increasing, but we're not being critical. They're no better. We've been teaching it wrong. We're having to eat fast food without nutrients, and we're not fulfilling our nutrient need, so we keep on eating because we're not filling our nutrient need, and we're gaining weight, okay? And so our county, Allen County, 1970, I think it was considered the most overweight in the nation. Mm-hmm. That also happened a few years ago in Oklahoma City. Maybe it was 16 or one of those years. But the mayor at that time, Cutter, I think it was named because he wrote a book. I read it recently. He ran his political campaign on it and was voted in office. Interesting. Isn't that interesting? Okay. But it comes right down to, in our county, probably 75% overweight, 40% are obese. Judgment-free zone. I'm just trying to get people to be healthy, okay? But this is causing increased rates of diabetes and cancer and inflammation and dementia and aging too, okay? So the keto is about eating the right kind of fats, and moderate protein, about 20%, low sugar, okay? So key healthy fats from nature, guacamole, and nuts and olives. We should be eating, how much sugar should we be eating? Maybe 30 grams a day or so, weighing 300. Okay, so you got to watch what you're biting into. And we need, if you want to go to keto way a little bit, I didn't say full-blown like the athlete, it would take 3 or 4 days of adjustment. Maybe you might feel a little dizzy or a little tired till your body changes into this way. So a cascade of health changes occur if you eat this way. Less insulin, okay? Because what does insulin do? It causes dementia and cancers and stiffens our arteries and arthritis and can be avoided. You want your insulin level down, okay? Your triglycerides go down. Your a good HDL changes. Your bad LDL goes down. Your good HDL goes up. Decreased rates of cancer. And remember, cancer is a sugar feeder. Your energy, just little factories, energy factories in every cell called the mitochondria, more in the heart, for example, than some other cells. Increase energy, increase brain function, avoiding Alzheimer's disease, dementia, seizures. Keto can do all that. So I think it's good to know something about it. So, but again, you need to adjust for a day or two, okay? So what's it all about? It's about veggies and herbs and vitamins and minerals, the building blocks of proteins. We need those. But you're burning fat mainly in your body because you need energy. Protein is energy. Sugar is energy, but you're not eating much sugar. You don't want to use protein as the energy source, so about 20%. And you want to burn fat if you're trying to lose some weight, or just even so. So fat is critical to health, actually. For 50 years they told us fat was the enemy. Industry did that on purpose because of money. I've researched that. It's in many books. So because we demonized fat to go to a low-fat diet, the industry took advantage and started selling everything with sugar in it. And look what's happened to our country the last 30, 50 years. Most are overweight, and we get the illnesses to boot. Who's the biggest industry in our community? The hospitals. The hospitals, they're the biggest. And they're not telling you this. I'm telling you this, okay? And you know how much sugar we have in our blood system? That surprised me, too. I mean, take a guess. Come on. Take a guess. Only 4 milligrams of sugar in our whole blood system. Yeah. So to think that's a dominant part of us, it's really not true. Water is the biggest substance in our body. That's about 60% or so. Okay, about 25% protein. So our bodies mainly water, and the rest is fat. Yeah. Of the things that are left, 73% is fat, 25% protein, and carbs, maybe 2%. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? So fat is crucial for our 70 trillion body cells. It protects our organs. Every cell in your body, in the membrane, has essential fatty, non-essential fatty acids and omega-3s. Omega-3s, yeah. And where do they come from? And some omega-6s too. But you need more omega-3s than 6s, or at least a 1-to-1 ratio. We're eating bad fats, omega-6, 20-to-1, omega-6 over omega-3. It should be almost 1-to-1. But it's in the leaves of the universe through photosynthesis and the CO2 in the air and oxygen. We make ATP and send out oxygen as a byproduct. Use CO2 and chlorophyll and in the leaf, in the sugars, but also some fats. So omega-3 fats, a little bit of omega-6 fats in the leaves, and the animal eats that, and then we eat the animal. Might as well eat the leaf, right, without getting the side effects from eating the animal. So every cell in our body, the internet of our body, every cell has in it some fat. It runs the internet of our body, okay? So before we had heart and lungs, how we communicate, and the brain, before that, how did living things communicate? The fat in the cells, okay? And then we have 50 hormones in our body which send signals between our organs and our cells. In this book, matter of fact, there's a picture of the metabolism of our body. I mean, it's a brain map of unbelievable complexity. Yeah, take you a month to get through all these, how metabolic activities in your body, okay? We have 50 hormones, and from insulin, estrogen, testosterone. A brain is 60% fat, okay? And our brain uses 20% of the energy of our body. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the key to good health, though, is proper nutrients from the right food, okay? And Dr. Axis, remember that's the book I like the most. Dr. Axis Keto, so let me review this quickly here. Loads of veggies, organic meat, some collagen, which is in some of the meat products, nutrient-dense foods, alkalizing diet instead of an acid diet. Meats are mainly acidic, so you're talking about a lot of veggies and fruits. Anti-inflammatory, a lot of herbs and spices. And standard keto, which we don't, which Dr. Axe doesn't agree with, me neither. Few veggies, a lot of meat, no collagen, focus on butter and bacon, is very acidic, and no herbs and spices. That's a standard keto. That's not what we want. We want a touch of keto, okay? And you'd lose about 15, 18 pounds in a month, yeah, right in this book. Increase energy, increase vitality, mental clarity. Diabetes will go down, 6 weeks probably gone. Decrease in epilepsy, decrease in cancer, decrease thyroid disease, decrease GI problems, decrease autoimmune disease, towards a normal weight, decrease Alzheimer's disease. If you follow the Fuhrman keto way. So there's the answer. So I wanted you to understand something about keto metabolism. Because I had someone say, oh, keto is too much. Well, they were eating too much meat. They got to understand the full science of it, because you cut out sugar, you get a little bit of fat, and you're going to have to increase the amount of good fats. So you have to learn what the good fats are. I have some guacamole on toast with a smoothie twice a week at least. I always feel very energetic when I do that, and probably because my blood sugar didn't go up much. Blood sugars normally rise and then come down. That's a normal. They'll go up and then they'll come down over time. And it makes us feel different. You know, after a big meal, we want to go sleepy, for example. But if you go, so in summary, what I would like you to do, develop some knowledge. The other book that I recommend here is by Maria and Craig Emmerich, Keto. Excellent book. Yeah, also an excellent book. That's the other book that I recommend, Dr. Axel's books. And this, if you read these two books, you will know, and there's recipes in them too, yeah, especially the one I just held up, full of recipes. You will become extremely knowledgeable. And so I want you to eat the nutrient-dense way, a little bit of keto, take a walk every day, give somebody a hug, sing a song, take up tap dancing like I do, and you'll be healthy and live to be 100. Why am I doing this? Because I love you. I care about you. If you need to see a doctor, I see people at the Three Rivers Pharmacy next to the Fireside, Concordia High, for free every Friday morning. Call ahead, make an appointment, and I'll get you well. You can get rid of diabetes. Weeks, matter of weeks. I will show you how to do it. I will show you how to do it. And watch my YouTube shows. Amazon, I have a lot of books on there about this subject, about 20 of them, I think. And have a great day, and I'll just keep on dancing and walking, and thanks for watching. We love you.